everybody, welcome to Detective Grimoire. This is gonna be a walkthrough, so yes, I have played this before. Just because I feel like not a lot of people have really talked about this game, and the only ones I've seen like maybe one playthrough that had commentary, but the rest of them were no commentary walkthroughs. And I've mentioned time and time again on my channel how much I don't like those. So you know what, we're just gonna go ahead and bet. Yeah, see? 100%. So don't worry, I know what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna check the sound once this starts playing, so hopefully I can turn it down some. An Armor game production. Original score by Raphael Benjamin Meyer. Programming and development by Tom Bien. Art and design by Adam Bien. Wonderfully related. Backgrounds by Catherine starring Ed. Whoa, that went by way too fast. And oh my gosh.
2025 last night, a murder occurred in a remote part of this swamp. A small tourist attraction, deep within the heart of the marsh.
Hold on. A tourist attraction? Here? I don't get it. Why would anyone come here by choice?
I've explained this already. This area is famous.
Sorry, it's making my audio peak.
All I read was that some idiot thought they saw an alien here 100 years.
Oh,
Get your facts straight for once. We're talking about a creature that's lived in the swamp for over 60 years.
Okay, so it's a 60-year-old alien. I still don't see what matters.
If it matters to anyone, it's you. That creature is our prime suspect.
The murder suspect?
That's right. This is no Loch Ness monster. You need to be taking this seriously.
No, look, come on. How am I supposed to arrest something that might not exist?
We've always enjoyed a challenge before. You can start by reading this.
Our case file? There's not a lot of it, is there?
As usual, we only know the bare essentials at this point.
So, funny story when I first played this game. So I don't know how many of you played or watched a lot of, like, Flash escape games. Like, either when you were younger, well, because I played them a lot when I was a kid. There was a series, it was, like, called Trap, like, Escape. It was a really weird Flash game. But, if you recognize Detective Grimoire's voice, I don't know if you did the same thing I did, which was, oh my god, that's Dan McNeely. No, seriously, when I first played that was me, and then I had to Google to make sure I wasn't just hearing things, but no, that's the same voice of the guy who voices Dan McNeely in those old Flash games. I don't know if he was in something else, but yeah, he's actually very, like, prolific voice actor and stuff, and he's very recognizable, which is, like, bravo. So, yeah, if you guys recognize any other voice actors, please let me know, because that's always fun whenever I recognize, be like, hey, I know that guy. Well, I don't know him, but I recognize that voice. Alright, let me read this. Richard Remington, founder of tourist attraction Boggy's Bog, was found dead outside his office at 20:45 last night. Let's see, so that'd be 8:45 p.m. for those who don't know military time. Exact cause of death unknown. 3 small wounds to the chest suggest an attack from a clawed creature. Slime around the wound and footprints found at the scene suggest the culprit was Boggy, the legendary swamp creature, and not like just some guy in a costume. Any of the 7 other people in the present in the swamp last night could hold vital information. Okay, let's just.
Our murder victim, Richard Remington, he was in charge of this, tourist attraction. Boggy's Bog? What a name.
Boggy is the name of our creature. Well, nowadays it is.
You mean that stupid cartoon character? I've heard of him. That thing is our murder suspect?
There's more to Boggy than the cartoon character, I promise you. This is the place it all began. You'll find out soon enough.
Chapter 1, A Swamp Full of Secrets.
Your case file is in the top right. You can look at your clues and suspect profiles in here. When you've collected some, of course.
Right.
I'll stay and guard our boat, so if you're confused, come back here and I'll help you.
No need.
That's where I need to. I can switch to walk. Oh, and I can turn off those sparkly.
Alright, so first I wanna. Yeah, so if you. No, not clues, but where is it? No, that's not what I want. There we go, notes. So if you go here, this will help you keep track of all the clues, which helps to get 100% in the game. So you can come back here and double check if you missed any clues in the areas. That's the word I'm looking for. So there's no clues here. So let me show you what it looks like when there are clues. So swamp, it just says no clues, so you don't need to worry about that. But if there are clues, there'll be these question marks. Alright.
Wow, you didn't get lost yet.
No, I only just got here. Who are you?
You don't remember. Of course, you're not great at remembering. I should be offended, though.
So this is technically a sequel to an old Flash game. If you guys want, let me know and I can kind of see if it's on Flashpoint or something, so I can play that old game. But didn't really. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. My cat was at my door. So yeah, apparently she was in the previous game. I never played the previous game, so I don't know. So
You're that weird girl from the fairground.
Saw your hat blow through here already. You must be slow, if it wouldn't even wait for you.
Well, if you'll let me, I'd better go after it. You can wait here and behave.
You'll get lost. I would never forgive myself if I let you go through without the map.
You have a map of the swamp?
Not anymore. I'm giving it to you.
You should really stay here. It's dangerous. There's been a murder. Although I suppose you know all about it already?
They're saying it was the creature. But it can't be him. He doesn't seem like a killing sort of creature. Nope. He's a different sort of creature.
Wait, what do you mean? If you... she disappeared. I might pretend I imagined her.
why, you've met this girl before.
It's an old statue of Boggy. His feet are hidden in a bucket of murky water.
So yeah, they're not gonna tell you what the notes are. You're just gonna have to
It's
click
an opportunity
around.
for a photographic memento.
And I'll show you where they are, but
The two characters are an explorer and Boggy himself. Are they fighting? Just an odd old tree. The fence that's...
no.
I still don't quite understand why we have a tourist attraction here. Don't forget to use walk mode to move around.
I know, McNeely. I'm not gonna call you Detective Grimoire. I'm just gonna call you McNeely. But yeah, if you go over your notes and you click on the entrance, you now have all three of the notes.
Don't forget.
Oh, sorry.
Just my luck, the gate's closed. Looks like I can move these metal latches around. I should just have to slide at least one of them out of the bottom of the lock. Then I'll be able to get through this gate. Probably.
So this really isn't that complicated. You just touch slowly. Make your way.
Hey, nice. I might get one of these from my office.
Yep, cutscene time.
This is the tourist attraction? The whole thing just doesn't make sense to me. Let's do some thinking.
Alright. So this is a pretty fun part of the game. I have a message. Sorry about that. Spawn real quick. Alright.
Drag any two
Sorry about
stray thoughts into those slots at the bottom, and flick through the connecting statements in between to make a sentence. Tap the confirm button to try it out.
Okie dokie.
I just have to focus my thoughts
Can I get to it so I can...
and reach a conclusion.
Yep.
Boggy's Bog seems like the middle of nowhere.
Okay. So... let's see, we have... isn't warm enough, way too big for, is too stupid for, is too far, then is too remote for. And then you have to be so smart, to make any money, to murder someone, to have happened. So then... so that little girl is too far, is too remote for Officer James to make him know. So it's the swamp and tourist attraction.
The swamp is far too remote for the tourist attraction to make any money.
Yep, and you'll hear that little jingle.
It's
when
really
it's
bugging me.
done right.
What's the story behind this place?
Alright, and then here at the crossroad we have 2 notes.
There's a hollow part of the tree right at the front, but it's too dark to see inside. It's the base of a Was this entire place built around it?
I thought. Yep, so now we go to the notes. We have everything.
These flower petals seem a little out of place, lying on the ground over there. Or rather, it's...
It's a prota.
I should visit the... I think I'll...
Okay, so we gotta really go to the crime scene. Whoops, that's not what I want. I would like to go to...
Rocks. If that was a... There's a narrow path here leading up that hill and through the trees. It doesn't look inviting. I'm not sure it's part of the tourist attraction.
Yep, and that's our clue to go up here. So,
I can't get in here without a key. And I don't feel like kicking the door down. Maybe if I get desperate later on. There's an open window above Remington's body. One of the curtains is ripped and hanging on the outside. So, this is where they found Remington's body.
and... Okay. See how many...
There are bizarre... And back down.
Yep, so then we're gonna click on
The strange
read.
footprints stop right by these reeds. Maybe I should take a closer look. Maybe I can move some of them out of the way. A strange pair of green flippers, badly hidden in the reeds outside the office.
So, now we'll come back to this at some point.
Let's get this
Oops, sorry.
investigation started.
But first I want to pick up these notes.
Or rather, it's... These... Looks like the... I'm impressed, and I'm... Looks like this path. Looks...
Oh, where's the last note?
Looks like the...
I know it's somewhere here. Oh wait, hold on, does this only have 2? No, this is for later. This is for later. I'm forgetting. This is for later. Okay, so. And here. Alright, so
Alright, let's see. Another suspect for my notebook.
That's a little rude.
No, I'm sorry. Did I say that bit out loud?
Maybe not. Maybe I can hear your thoughts.
So would you be able to answer my questions before I asked you?
Would you be able to question my answers before I tell you?
I could try.
I'm Bobby Burl, professional cameraman. Pleased to meet you.
I'm Detective Grimoire. I'm here to investigate last night's murder. Obviously.
Grimoire. Strange. Is that your first name?
And these don't do anything, you can just say
It's
something
my
funny.
second name. Detective is my first name. So you already told me what you do, but now, why would a cameraman be working here?
I go where I'm needed. Vincent wanted to come to the swamp, and I was happy to help.
Vincent
Excuse me,
Vanderpeer.
sorry.
You mean that man standing on that rock over there?
That's right. I've worked with him for many years.
Is he your boss?
Oh, I don't know about that. We work together. He's tried to film here before, but he never got permission until about a week ago.
Oh, really? But why did you want to come here in the first place?
If you're looking for a reason to write down in your notebook, I'm sure he can tell you if you ask him. I'm just the guy who carries around the camera.
You always carry that camera with you?
Most of the time.
You were here yesterday, I presume? Last night?
Yes, I was.
Here, in this clearing?
No, I was over at the cafe getting something to eat. Richard Remington was there too.
Remington? You saw him last night? Just before the murder?
That's right, I saw him. He left the cafe looking rather ill. I offered to help, but he just wanted to go back to his office. He looked like he had a lot on his mind.
He was ill yesterday?
Perhaps it was something he ate. What is it? Some evidence from last...
And this just...
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yep.
I'm sorry I have not seen that before.
A prolific cameraman with exceptional skills at carrying heavy equipment.
You should ask someone else. Try showing it to somebody different.
Alright, so now we got that.
There's
I
a narrow
forgot.
path. It does.
Yeah, no. I'll go up here, because there was something I forgot.
What's this? There's a lockpick dropped amongst the weeds
Aha.
down here in the water.
I knew it.
I just have to work out which
Sorry,
vine to break
I
and
thought this
tap
was
that
somewhere
button.
else in the game, but then I remembered. So, so you can follow along all these, but the answers are always the same. And since this is a walkthrough, I'm just gonna tell you.
That's the one. But I wonder where this lockpick came.
Alright. Well, now that we have that, we can go back here,
Hmm?
and... you can
What
ask-
is it? Some evidence from last night's murder?
Yep.
You were here.
Oops, sorry.
What? Yes, do you have a message for me?
Vanderpeer.
No, I don't think so.
Then why are you here? I'm incredibly busy.
You don't look
Dude,
it.
I'm a detective.
Who are you anyway?
What a question. You're serious? I am Vincent Vanderpeer,
The famous movie director?
the artist, the visionary, the auteur. I'm a man of many talents.
That's great. Let's hope you have a talent for answering my questions.
You're in my light. Could you take a few steps back, please?
But then I'll be too far away to talk to you.
I know.
Can anyone just walk in here and start filming?
No. So, if you remember in another old game called Haunted House or something like that, that ghost, it's because it's by the same people. So, Vincent Vanderpeer only recently got permission, because remember what Bobby said, from Richard Remington to film here in the swamp.
Vincent Vanderpeer only recently got permission from Richard Remington to film here in the swamp. I wonder if Mr. Vanderpeer has been breaking rules. Or maybe he'll have an excuse. What's a famous guy like you doing in a place like this?
Quite quite. I'm sure you're thinking, why doesn't he send an assistant? But that's not the way this director works.
But what are you doing?
I'm feeling, I'm experiencing, I'm discovering. This area, the history, the atmosphere, it's the perfect setting for my next film. I'm on a scouting mission to get to know this swamp before I begin work on the latest masterpiece in a string of masterpieces.
You're making a movie about Boggy? About the swamp creature?
Of course. He's a fascinating individual, isn't he? So mysterious.
No idea. I haven't met him yet. Is that your cameraman over there?
Yes, that's right. Bobby Burl, my faithful right-hand man. Well, faithful enough, you know.
No, I don't know.
He's an expert cameraman. Really knows his trade, of course. But he gets a bit muddled when it comes to priorities.
Like how? You mean he's lazy? He doesn't look lazy. He looks a bit scary.
Oh no, nothing of the sort. He just has a little hobby that sometimes distracts him from his work. But I wouldn't want anyone else shooting for me.
Sorry, this is very dialogue heavy, so I'm just like trying to get in there while I can.
Were you working yesterday? Here in the swamp, I mean?
Indeed I was working, very hard indeed, well into the night.
Hard work, is it? Getting to know the swamp?
You jest, but yesterday I was getting even more involved than usual, yes. Difficult to comprehend, I know.
So what kind of work were you doing?
Well, I was, unable to find my faithful cameraman last night. He had hidden himself quite completely from view.
Bobby Burl, right? Did you need him to film for you?
Always. But being a resourceful type of man, I stepped up and took on the responsibility myself. I was filming in this exact area, in fact.
You were filming? Last night? Here?
Yes,
Did you get anything?
at the time of the murder, I believe. But wait, I know what you're thinking. Now, don't forget, I'm not here to shoot some experimental documentary. I have no interest in late-night surveillance footage.
Did you see anything at all? What is it you were filming?
The water. I was filming the water. It's a fascinating subject, one that has me captivated to the point where
So, you didn't see anything useful?
Nope.
Got excited there for a minute.
Nothing useful to you, my good detective, but there are some odd sounds on the audio track. Nothing but wild animals going about their nighttime rituals, I'm sure.
Is there something I should ask the cameraman? Vincent Vanderpeer told me that Bobby Burl was nowhere to be found last night. Simple enough. What was Mr. Burl doing last night that meant he couldn't help out his boss?
If you want an auto... I don't really have...
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna show him everything, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip when we get dialogue that doesn't actually do anything.
I don't know. I'll film again tonight and try to get a version without all those bizarre noises in the background. You won't be getting very... If you want... The world's premier director, the king of wit and whimsy. You met him? You're a lucky man. He's been working with me for a number of years. A real expert, of course. Ah, yes. The reason we're all here, of course.
Not me.
Isn't he your prime suspect?
Yeah.
Well, officially, yeah, but I mean...
What an amazing creature! No one has seen him for 60 years and he still manages to get accused of murder. Incredible!
Yeah, that's a little odd.
Now there's a man who could handle himself.
I'm not so sure.
Well, apart from yesterday. That was just a one-off, wasn't it?
For him, I think so, yes.
So now we can go ahead and start the challenge.
I heard this isn't the first time you've tried to film here.
Where? In the swamp? What are you talking about?
Remington has denied you the filming permission in the past.
Oh, that. Nothing but the natural process of being in a profession like mine. Every situation simply requires the right approach before the gears start turning smoothly. You understand, I'm sure.
Why did Remington not want you filming here? And why did he change his mind?
It wasn't even up to him. This area is protected, you know. There are certain rules, certain regulations. I encounter this kind of thing all the time, really.
That doesn't explain why he changed his tune. It's a little suspicious.
Why would you say that?
A famous movie director suddenly gets his way. I wonder how that happened. Time to use my notebook. Just drag an item onto the paper to draw the idea.
Yep. Money.
Right.
That's the one. I think you bribed Remington to get the filming rights.
Well, bribe is a strong word. It was just a little arrangement between friends. Nothing worth getting upset about. I simply promised him a cut of my next movie's profits. It made sense, since he owned the area anyway. Just a favor for a favor.
So you would have owed him money.
Only a small percentage, simply out of courtesy. And not for a long time, either.
Alright, so that was challenge 1. And so there isn't much here, but you can just... Yeah.
The famous director, and my friend. Vincent's work, I see. I'm glad he knows how to use the camera, at least.
What do you think all those noises are?
Well, judging by the time this was recorded, I'd be able to make a pretty good guess.
Alright, so let's start this challenge.
I heard from Mr. Vanderpure over there that you were nowhere to be found last night.
Didn't I say I was at the cafe?
Yeah, you did. But your director needed you for some filming, and he couldn't find you. What were you doing that was so important?
Well, let's see. After I ate, I had a walk around the swamp. I didn't have my camera, so I was free to stretch my legs for once.
Where was your camera? Don't you carry it around with you all the time?
No, not all the time.
You left it with Vanderpure, and he used it instead that night.
That's right, he was looking after that camera. So I went for a late-night stroll. This place is beautiful in the evenings.
You just walked around? You didn't do anything? Didn't see anyone?
Well,
That's
I can't say that. I have various ways to pass the time, you know.
Vanderpure said you had a hobby on the side.
Is that what he said? Well, yes, he's right. I brought 2 cameras with me when I came here. I left my video camera, yes, but I have another one. It's much smaller, and it only takes black and white photographs. You know the kind I mean?
A really old one?
Yes, I suppose so. I've always enjoyed traditional photography, and this place is a wonderful opportunity to take some pictures of a natural environment.
So, you were having some time off to take black and white photographs? For fun?
Only one photograph. You have to be disciplined when you're not using a digital camera.
Can I see it?
Of course. I took it near the woods at the back of the swamp. It's quite an interesting shot, but the light qualities weren't perfect. Here we are. Feel free to take a look.
Wait, what? This is a photo?
Has to develop. Grimoire.
I haven't developed it yet. I only took it last night. Just brush the developing fluid over the photo to reveal the image.
What? Is that Boggy? The swamp creature just standing in the water?
It could be. Personally, I'm not convinced, but I'll let you decide for yourself.
Alrighty.
Yes, that's my photograph, taken near the woods at the north end of Boggy's Bog. Have you tried looking there?
What? He's a talented man, that Burl. Sometimes I wonder if he'd be better off pursuing his photography full-time, you know.
I don't forget.
Oops, not what I meant to do. I meant to go here.
I don't think it's a window, but this hatch is shut at the moment. I can't see inside. This side of the museum is surrounded by blue and red flowers. That's the logo for Boggy's Bog. So, I'm guessing this museum is an official part of the tourist attraction. I hope they don't charge an entrance fee. That museum is quite... Which... Is it being held up on wooden supports? It's bizarre. That museum... Which... Is it... The door's jammed unless I can get these brass handles out of the way. Seems like I can rotate them around, just until the gap in the middle is clear.
This is like the weirdest lock ever.
That top hat guy would have so struggled with this one.
Do you mean Professor Layton?
It's a poster from the old Boggy cartoon show. Copyright MCM XXXIV. That'll be 1930, 1934? It says another story, but actually, I think this is from the very first episode. Models of Boggy's Claws. Hold on. What's this? Something doesn't seem right here. I think I should try arranging these models into pairs. Something seems out of place.
Okay.
I don't think these gloves are part of the exhibit. It looks like someone tried to hide them here. I'd better take a look at this. This journal, it's full of drawings and notes all about Boggy. It seems to be the centerpiece of the entire museum. Let's see here. This journal belonged to the who first discovered Boggy in this swamp 60 years ago. There's a little door in the wall here. I think it leads outside. It's locked, though.
Let's see. Easy.
Some Did you know? Apparently the museum was founded by the explorer many years ago, in a different location. It's only recently been moved here to be part of the tourist attraction. That might explain why it looks so out of place. Let me guess, you don't work here, do you? I wonder if that makes you the first tourist I've seen today.
You're incorrect, Detective. I am no mere tourist.
How did you know I was a detective?
Raptor, by the way.
Was it my stylish trench coat? My sensitive, inquisitive manner?
It was the clueless expression on your face.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the one.
So
Right,
obviously
that's
Ego
it.
Raptor.
You've done it now. What's your name?
I go by
Ego
Folder.
Raptor.
Agent Folder. What are you doing?
I'm doing a drawing of your beautiful face. So, if you're not a tourist, and you don't work here...
I am a scholar, an academic. I'm here to research the past and uncover the future.
So, you're visiting the museum. For fun.
Fun! Oh, there's nothing so simple as fun to be had here. I come to this museum night and day to study its secrets.
Ah, what kind of secrets? It's just a museum about Boggy, right? The swamp creature.
He's one of the most intriguing modern examples of cryptozoology. A fascinating combination of scientific fact and wild speculation.
I'm with you on the speculation front. Although, come to think of it, people have been hinting that I should find out about the history of this creature.
A wise suggestion. And you've come to the right person. My knowledge far exceeds anyone else you might have met so far.
So, you'll help me?
I suppose I could divulge some of my findings with you, if you're in the mood for a little light reading. Let me find it for you. Oh yeah, this'll do. Something for beginners at least.
Okay.
So, Mr. Folder.
Agent Folder.
Yeah, were you here yesterday? What were you doing last night?
I was here, in the museum, going through my files one final time before disappearing into the night.
Don't museums usually close in the evenings?
They do. I've never been one to worry about other people's schedules. I come and go as I please. There's a key to every lock, Detective.
Oh, So you have the key to the museum?
Of course I don't. Why would you think that?
Well,
Once again, that clueless expression. I use a lockpick and get in through the small side door. I have a right to be here, you see. Remington has no business locking me out, so I don't let him.
You just admitted to breaking the law.
Yeah.
If everyone did that, my job would be a lot easier.
It's not my best lockpick. This new one's cheap. I used to own one, a superior model. Unfortunately, I misplaced it in one of the darker corners of the swamp, so I doubt...
I'm writing down your confession about sneaking around here at night.
And what are you gonna do? Report me to Remington? Good luck, my friend.
I need to pick my questions carefully.
Very well.
The lockpick I found near Remington's body might belong to Agent Folder. As far as I know, Agent Folder is experienced with lockpicks. I wonder if he's hiding something.
I have no interest in something like that. You're wasting your... This file? It's nothing more than a basic overview, really. Actually, this is a classic example of a cryptid photograph.
What's a cryptid?
A creature unknown to science. Look at the slight blurring in this photo, the murky exposure. It's perfect.
It's perfect because it can't really be used as evidence?
Now you're catching on.
What?
I've never seen that before, and I never... Something you found on the floor? Come back when I'm not so busy, alright?
You literally just said that was
An
yours.
important piece of the puzzle. This journal is a key to unlocking the history of this place. The real swamp creature had claws, 3 on each hand to be precise. Why does the costume just have these pathetic fins instead? Guesswork. Nobody can know what Boggy's feet look like. It's his greatest secret. This person is of no interest. If I cared about... Next time, only show me something if it's important. Are you asking about the cartoon character? Because I have no interest in such childish matters.
No, I think I'm asking about the actual creature. What's the difference anyway?
Everything!
Oh dear.
The man was a fool. That's all you need to know.
Well, time to go to the
I
gym.
have a bone to pick with you.
Are you setting yourself up for a joke? Something about a lockpick?
Maybe. Who knows? Stop distracting me. I'm trying to interrogate you.
My apologies, go ahead.
So, what are we showing Folder now?
Well, here is where we show him the lockpick.
Where did I find this again?
We found it.
I
That's
found a
set up.
lockpick at the scene of the crime.
Come on,
Apparently you
Grimoire,
did.
get your
Why does this concern me?
together. Let's see.
You already admitted to owning one of these, and how you're ever so happy to come and go as you please with it, am I right? Be honest.
Luckily for me, Detective, I was honest with you. I believe I have already explained that second lockpick before you even found it.
You lost your lockpick in the swamp and had to buy a new one.
That's right. I appreciate you finding it for me. However, I won't ask for it back. Apparently, it has since become some diabolical instrument in the art of murder.
Yeah, it's an important piece of evidence.
Alright. Let's grab the woods. Did she hear it? Ah. Okay.
The water's clear here. I can see my reflection in it. Not bad. The water's... Not bad. This staircase is... And this... The water's clear. I can... Not bad. It's like a little...
Come on, where?
The water's I can not bet. What's this? Looks like this stuff in
Ah,
the water's
here we
moved
go.
around. Maybe if I.
Sorry. This line up here. No, other way around.
I recognize that
There we
footprint. It's the same as the one found at the crime scene. Someone please tell me why there's a house here. Well, the lights are on. Maybe somebody's home.
Okay, well, we're not gonna worry about that right now. We're gonna
Predictably, a trash can. And I just can't resist taking a look inside. The glamorous life of a detective. My favorite part of the job. Maybe there's something underneath the trash in here.
just gonna move everything around.
Hello, what's this? Just a piece of paper? Or something more sinister? Are we really talking about a swamp creature here?
Oh, okay. I remember.
The costume design I found in the trash can explains what Burl's black and white photo is showing me. My detective's intuition is kicking in. That black and white photograph. I'm not sure I'm looking at the real Boggy here, and I think these designs I found in the trash can might be the answer. I'll ask around, see if anybody knows anything about this. Oh, and I should start looking for the costume itself. If I can
Well, where we
find
got-
that, there'll be some pretty impressive evidence.
Yeah. Chapter 2, a deadly discovery.
I have something for you.
Ah, hi.
Another gift already. Where are you keeping all this stuff? You don't even have pockets in that dress.
I don't need a pocket to carry a key.
What key?
I don't know. You could try it on any door you like. Although, I recommend you try it on that office door.
Remington's office?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well,
A shipwreck? In a swamp? Does that make any sense?
none.
And why is there a cafe growing out of the side? There's a little locked door on the side of the ship here. I think it's part of the cafe.
Ah, yes. I heard they were sending somebody over. So you're Detective Grimoire.
At your service. Well, kind of. You're a suspect too.
Of course, of course. Feel free to be as suspicious as you
I love
like.
that they don't even
I
design
won't
like
be
the count as
offended.
just a
You can
black
call me
box.
Harper.
How did you know my name?
I can only assume I must have read about one of your many exploits. But I think you'll find this swamp to be your greatest challenge.
What's so challenging about an old swamp?
The swamp itself has a history that has captured many imaginations, for better or for worse. My advice to you, look to the past. It could be the way forward.
Okay.
So, you sit in this boat all day and sell food to people? To tourists, I guess?
Not just the tourists, but the
I
employees
just
too.
turn my mic off.
To anyone who's hungry or thirsty. I know everyone's favorite foods.
What are they? Oh, and is this a real shipwreck? How did it get here?
I can't expose all the secrets of the swamp. I don't want to spoil your fun.
Is there a secret to this shipwreck?
No.
You just spoiled my fun.
You'll find out there are some secrets worth keeping when you've worked here as long as I have.
Well, how long is that?
I've worked in this swamp almost as long as Mr. Remington. We knew each other for a long time.
Really? So what was his favorite food?
Mr. Remington enjoyed a specialty only I can make. The bog dog. He ate one nearly every day. A real creature of habit, that one.
It looks like a hot dog.
It's similar, but I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. I'm not serving them today.
Why not?
Yesterday I found this strange green powder in my entire supply.
Guess I'm out of luck today. Well, thanks for the information. You've been a real big help.
Wait, take this with you. If you get thirsty, it's the most popular drink in Boggy's Bog. Swamp juice. Try it.
It looks like... It looks...
It looks like Sprite.
Well, I'll try some later on.
you
You're
know
in
what,
luck.
like in the green
That's my
bottle?
last bottle.
They're like
A
syrup.
lot of swamp juice has been disappearing from my stock recently. I can only assume I must have been selling them all.
Did something strange happen at the cafe yesterday?
Yep, so Richard Remington left the cafe feeling ill after Harper sold him bog dog.
Richard Remington left the cafe feeling ill after Hopper sold him a bog dog. Hopper is basically in charge of all the food and drink here in Boggy's Bog. I'll have to ask him about this.
Okay. First
You're
we're
going
gonna
to ask
go
me
through
about
all-
what I was doing last
Yep.
night.
I was going to. Were you going to tell me anything?
I was working here at the cafe in the evening, and I had a couple customers. Eventually they all left and I locked up and went home.
Do you lock away everything at night?
Not everything, just the storeroom over there.
You mean that little door on the side of the ship? Is there anything else to lock?
I leave the chairs, tables, and trash can where they are. Lifting things like that is not a job for an old man.
Don't you have anyone to help you?
Mr. Remington liked to keep us down to his skeleton staff. There simply aren't many people who would choose to work in a place like this.
A skeleton staff? Well, that's convenient for him since...
Don't make that joke.
Okay.
I won't laugh. Someone made a costume to look like the creature. They must have known it would get a reaction for sure. But I wonder if they planned things to go this far.
When you're finished theorizing, I was going to show you these sketches I found in the trash can right next to your cafe.
It does seem like someone was designing a costume. A disguise, perhaps.
I don't know.
Try to think why somebody would do such a thing.
I don't know.
What could they achieve with it?
I don't know.
Not yet. He's dead, but he always knew what he was getting involved with. I don't know everything, I can't help you with that. It's the most popular drink that I sell. In fact, a lot of it has disappeared from my stocks recently. It was Mr. Remington's favorite food. That strange green powder isn't supposed to be there. Why don't you show that to someone? I don't know everything. I can't help. Why don't you show? I don't know everything. I can't help. Why don't you? I don't know what to say. I don't know very much about. You have a lot of suspects on that lead. I don't know what to say. You're prime suspect, am I correct?
Well, technically, but I'm not even sure he's real.
Don't worry about that. Real or not, the creature's the most important part of this mystery.
Which one? The cartoon character or the real creature?
Both.
Exactly. He was a friend for many years. If you have any questions about him or his belongings, I may be able to help you.
Oh, whoops.
I was told Remington left the cafe looking ill last night. Since you seem to be completely in charge of all the food and drink around here, I'm afraid this is something I can't ignore.
He was an old man. His health wasn't perfect. But I'm not arguing with you. I think it is suspicious. What do you think caused it?
What do I think caused it?
Poison.
A bog dog he ate at the cafe gave him food poisoning.
I keep all my food locked in the storeroom when I'm not here. You think he was poisoned?
I think he was poisoned.
Poisoned by me?
The storeroom was broken into with a lockpick.
A lockpick? I've never encountered a problem like this before. But since last night, am I in a position to doubt a claim like that?
Somebody knew that Remington would eat a bog dog. He ate one every day, right?
Do you suppose this explains the missing bottles of swamp juice as well?
Maybe, Harper. Maybe. Alright. Let's see. At the cafe. Got all the notes.
It's a humble gift shop wagon. Bonky dolls, bonky toys, bonky postcards. Yeah, this stuff isn't half bad. What on earth? This thing doesn't seem to belong here at all.
That's a curtain.
It's some kind of roughly made costume head, I think. There's a strange piece of red fabric stuffed inside.
Come on, Grimoire. It's the fabric.
Two clues for the price of one, I guess. Bonky doll. A Boggy's Bog mug. Maybe I'll get one and surprise Officer James for Christmas. It's a photo of the swamp entrance. It's a framed drawing of... What a shame.
I want to go.
It's a humble gift shop.
Maybe it's...
Brightly colored boggy baseball caps. Is there something behind them?
Yes, I already clicked on that.
Hey,
Sorry to interrupt. I can see that you're, hard at work.
you weren't here yesterday.
Oh, no, I only just arrived.
You're the detective, right?
I'm a
Such a weird
detective.
stretching, like...
So, that was your head I saw blowing through here.
You spotted it too.
If you're good at your job, you may have realized that it's kinda dead around here. So, I generally notice magical floating detective hats.
Fair.
Oh, and don't worry, you look better without it.
How do you know?
Oh, I have a good imagination.
I didn't expect to see someone your age working in a place like this. But then again, I didn't expect there to be a place like this in a place like this.
I only started working here this year anyway. It's temporary. Just running the gift shop to earn a little extra money. Don't ask how I ended up here.
I'll save that question for a different day. You don't seem at home
You
here.
applied for the job, I'm guessing?
I hate it. This place is disgusting.
Come on, you don't think it's kind of beautiful?
You would say that. You only just got here. You'll get sick of it.
If I wasn't here, I'd be stuck in my office doing paperwork.
At least at your office, you don't have to bring spare clothes every day. It's impossible to leave this place without being covered in dirt.
Challenge accepted. When you have a moment free from your busy schedule, I need to ask you about last night.
I know, but it won't help. I worked here during the day, then left my gift shop and went home in the evening, same as every day.
You just leave your gift shop here when you go?
No, I put it in my pocket.
Yeah, seriously though, as much as I appreciate sarcasm, I think I'd get in trouble if I wrote something like that down in my notes.
Well, look, you've noticed the gift shop has wheels and you're thinking, oh, she's pretty lazy to leave it lying around. But if you want to try pushing this thing through the swamp, be my guest.
I mean,
can't
I'd be
lock it
more
up,
impressed if
so
someone,
just leave
like...
it here overnight. Nobody's ever stolen any of this lousy merchandise
Yeah.
anyway. I
Or
even left
someone
my
just
spare
ups and
clothes
takes the
here when I went
gift
home last
cart.
night.
You left them here? By the gift shop.
Yeah, it's no big deal. They were all still here this morning. Kind of.
Kind of?
I think someone played a stupid joke, and my spare black leggings were covered in some disgusting swamp slime when I found them in the bag
Ew.
this morning. If you're going to take my clothes and mess them up, then just keep them. I don't want them back. You know what I mean?
I absolutely do.
Yep.
I have a theory that the murderer was wearing a costume. A homemade outfit designed to look like the swamp creature.
I've never seen anything so ridiculous. You've never seen me in that.
I know it's not exactly the latest fashion, but...
No, you'd never see me in that. It would cover me up entirely.
That's the point of a disguise?
Look, detective. When you have legs like mine, you don't want to be wearing disguises.
Is that why you always
I'm sure
wear
you
those
do
black
if you
leggings?
want to murder somebody.
You've only just met me and you're making assumptions about what I always wear.
Making assumptions is the fun part of being a detective.
Also,
No,
you have wearing
you're
black
right.
leggings now,
I
and you
always
brought
wear
in some
these.
spare. Yeah.
Is that one of your clues? I have... These hats look pretty stupid. Luckily, kids seem to like stupid stuff.
You sell a lot of them?
Yeah, they're pretty popular.
It's important to go through all the
Where
clues.
are you keeping all this stuff?
That's
your
none your
pockets?
business, Sally.
Is that one of your clues? I have no idea what that is.
You don't know what a hot dog is?
This was taken near the forest at the back of the swamp, correct?
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm. The water is really clear back there. The legs of this thing are reflected in the bottom half of the photo. It's a nice shot, actually.
A reflection? Oh, yeah, of course. A reflection in the water.
Where are you? Is that one of your clues? I have no idea. Where are you? I can draw way better than that.
Could you show me?
There's no time. Maybe in the sequel. That is not something from my gift shop. I've never seen it before. Is that one of your clues? I have no idea. They're mine, but I left them here last night. Now they're covered in slime, and I don't want to go near them.
There. Alright. Okay. Oh.
What?
Ask you about the people.
Her? I don't know why she still works here, to be honest. One murder is one murder too many.
That's fair.
Is that one of the other suspects? They're more suspicious than me.
You
Let's agree
work
on that.
with him.
Is that your new friend? Sweet. I really don't know what to tell you. Is that one of the other suspects? They're more suspicious than me. I think the cartoon character is kind of dumb.
What about the real creature?
I've never met him.
Me neither.
He made sure I always got paid, so
Eh.
I can't say anything bad about him.
That's
You
nice
can
of
if
him,
you like.
I guess.
He won't hear you.
You should have more respect for the dead.
I know.
Sadly, the job don't allow me. Alright. Well, now that we made a full circle, let's do it again.
I'm impressed someone managed to pick, and I'm...
So first,
It's a colorful... He's staring into my...
Yep.
It should open.
yep, so remember that, on the Froggy cartoon, 1934.
It's a journal. I guess it belongs to Echo. Bad news. Remington is dead. I don't know what to do. Was my whole protest in vain? They'll shut this place down, sure, but I'll never know if I got through to him. That's all he's written.
Oh? You've arrived at a bad time, my friend. For once, they don't actually want tourists walking around this place.
I always arrive at a bad time. It's what I do. I'm a detective, not a tourist.
My apologies. It's just, you have the same wide-eyed expression as the kids that come here. running around, spending their parents' money, you know.
Well, it's not every day I visit a swamp full of such unique specimens.
It's no problem. You're just thinking what we all thought when we arrived for the first time.
Why didn't they put in a bathroom?
No, you're thinking, this place is beautiful. What a lucky man I am to be here.
I am I? Well, if you say so.
Edward Everstone, at your service.
That's a pretty cool name. Can I call you Ed?
You don't need to. Everyone just calls me Echo.
Why? Because you'd bounce if I threw you against a wall?
What? No. Because I always come back. Again and again, until my job is done.
You're protesting, right?
I certainly am. And now that you're here, I'm getting you involved.
What does that mean? Yeah, I haven't got time to hold up signs for you. I'm sorry.
You simply have to hear my message and take it with you.
Go ahead. I'm all ears. Plus, I have a little notebook.
What was the first thing you felt when you saw the sign for Boggy's Bog looming over you?
Well, I thought it was...
Not thought.
I felt... Well, something seemed wrong. There wouldn't be a tourist attraction in the middle of a swamp like this. There shouldn't be.
My job is done. Clearly your brain is working perfectly, Detective.
So you're against the tourist attraction? Yeah, let's see. You'd rather this area was kept as a natural habitat, right?
Right again.
Oh, I forgot how dialogue heavy this game is.
Habitat. First and foremost, I'm protesting for animal rights.
Well, okay, I'm following you, but it's not like they're cutting down trees or anything like that, right?
All animals deserve the right to live in peace.
Are you talking about the swamp creature? About Boggy?
A creature like that. He's earned the right to be left alone. We're fools to invite ourselves into his home like this on a daily basis, assuming he's not going to mind. Assuming he'll keep to himself and let us walk around with his face on our t-shirts.
Well, I agree. I think he should be left alone. But like you said, he can probably handle himself.
Yeah.
And if no one has even seen him in 60 years, I don't really see the problem.
Unlike you, Detective, I never had an academic calling in life.
What?
I was never even a talented artist or musician or anything. So instead, I made the decision to stand up for those who were getting a raw deal.
You come here every day?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm only going to ask you about one of those days. What were you doing yesterday evening?
I was here at my protest spot until fairly late. Then I went to get something to eat at Harper's Cafe before I...
Wait, you ate at the cafe here? Doesn't supporting the tourist attraction go against your protest?
A man has to eat, doesn't he? I don't think the meager contributions of one person are going to keep this place afloat. Especially now.
And you're sleeping here? Doesn't it get cold at night?
Well, I came prepared, of course. I usually find myself with 1 or 2 extra layers to wear. Most of this bulk is padding, I promise you.
I'm sure it is. So you stayed here the whole night?
That's right. And I admit I may have heard some stranger than usual sounds floating around the swamp last night.
What
It's impossible to say. This place fills with the most terrifying... Hundreds of animals, some tiny... awaken and make their own. Every night until the sun rises in the morning.
Insects make noises at night. Okay, I've written it down. What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A Boggy costume.
It's Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I rounded up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Show it to... No thanks.
This.
I'm afraid... Show it to somebody... No thanks. I'm af- Show it. No thanks. I'm af- Show it. The one that man left here 60 years ago?
Here we go.
You seem a little unsure of the details. Shouldn't you have read up on all this stuff?
Forgive me. It's hard for me to get the image of Boggy as the lovable cartoon character out of my mind. He's just so iconic. Did you know, in 1973, he...
But you're protesting to protect the real swamp creature. The cartoon character is just some commercial byproduct, right?
Yes, of course. No thanks. I'm afraid I... Show it. No thanks. I'm afraid... You're wasting... A man who has sacrificed luxuries to protect those who need protecting.
How sweet.
Pretty good beard, too. He seems like a good person. He even sympathizes with my cause.
He agrees with your protest? But he works here, right? And he was friends with Remington.
I think that was the only reason he worked here. Maybe he'll see the light now and leave the swamp behind him. Maybe everyone will. I have nothing to say about them. You're asking the wrong person. Ah, yes, Agent Folder. A good man.
You know him?
We get on rather well, and we shared a number of views on the way things were run around here.
Boggy is my prime suspect, you know. The creature you're trying to protect.
Protect is the wrong word. If your suspicions were correct, we could both agree he's a creature that doesn't need protecting.
You think he might be the
I think the best way
murderer?
about this is just
I
to
think he's a
keep on going in
wild
circles
animal,
since we've done
and he
everything.
wants to be left alone at any cost. The murder victim.
Since last night, yeah. But he was the owner of Boggy's Bog. Did you know him?
Not personally. To be honest, I'm quite glad about it.
Okay. Alright, so now.
I found these designs for a costume.
Now I have a lot
Boggy
more
costume.
The legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
I don't know if it's
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell. I'm sorry, What is it? That's the...
Oh, there we go.
Before he got ill and rushed back to his office?
That's right.
This is going down in my notebook. It might be important.
I'm sorry, What is it? Some evidence? I'm sorry, I have not seen... What is it?
Did everything here.
Try showing it to some... I really... You should ask... Try showing it to...
Okay. It's covered.
What can you tell me about these designs for a Boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiot. I can assure you.
What about your Boggy movie? Isn't that gonna be... or a puppet?
Technology has been... We no longer have any need for such... I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the much cheaper, too.
Huh.
If you want... I don't... You won't be getting... If you want to not...
Yeah, dude, I want you to sign
I
a
don't
hot
re-
dog.
You won't be getting that. If you want... I don't... You won't... If you want to not... You want to... I'm a bit... I simply don't have time. You want me to...
Alright. So, now that we're back here, let's go ahead and investigate the...
Even though I have this door has 2 keyholes. So, which key should I use in each one?
Okay.
It's a sharp metal poker for a fireplace. Hidden something about... I feel like I just stumbled across an incredibly important piece of evidence. An old hunting rifle, discarded carelessly near the window. This is... something... There are signs... The open window... Oh. These are... I don't photos and... But one of the... Wait a second. This photo is ripped. If I can... Maybe it'll...
Alright. No.
This
Oh, that
photograph.
bugs me.
And some other... Maybe I can ask... Have I uncovered a secret in here? The hunting photo is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society. I'm getting a strong feeling that Remington might be the bad guy in this story. If he wasn't already dead, I would have loved to ask him a couple of questions. I should ask around, see if I can gather any information. Remington's it's all about and ink bottles. Eesh. Perhaps there's some... It's a note. The handwriting, Richard. We're worried that the efforts regarding our elusive little send word. The letter is signed FF. And it's some kind of... The whole thing is a mystery. It's a letter before, my dear fellow, I received your note 2 weeks ago, but I've only recently found the time to do the appropriate research on the matter. I feel like my time in this awful swamp might finally come to all due to the simple realization. The rest is...
Okay, I'm missing something. And
Something there are some... Hunting memorabilia.
there we go.
It would be an impressive collection.
Okay, so last is just that.
Oh?
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp. If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me, ignoring anything he didn't like.
So, what, he just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
I'm sure it says that in the brochure. Yes. No thanks, my... Why are you carrying that around with you?
I have a suspicion it may have been the murder weapon.
Really? I thought Remington was attacked by something with claws, wasn't he?
What?
You're not a bad detective.
Well, I found the photo in Remington's office. It was ripped up, though. I think he was some kind
He
of...
was a lot of things. Don't lose that picture. And show it to Mr. Harper before you leave.
Oh?
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I like to let him.
What do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know! I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think Mr. Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a couple of secrets.
Like what?
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets. What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder?
Message.
That's great. I'm sorry I have not...
That means... Wait, is it... I found these designs for a boggy costume.
Oh, some ridiculous new merchandise for tourists to waste their money on.
No, I believe the murderer was dressed like this last night when they attacked Remington.
If they were trying to scare him out of the swamp, they should have spent more time making an accurate design.
What do you mean?
Well, this design is some
Actually.
bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. It simply hasn't been researched properly.
What's wrong with it?
Well, those flippers? Pure guesswork. Nothing but foolish imagination. Nobody knows what Boggy's feet look like. No footprint has ever been recorded.
So tell me, Special Agent Folder, how would you do a better job researching it if nothing has ever been recorded?
Oh, well, that's... You know, I mean, it's all a matter of taking the time to... It's just that... But there's no way anyone would believe... Nothing but foolishness.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
We didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one. But look, all I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's history that he never wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you sniffing around this museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest. And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building. He knows that. We both know that.
Why not?
Could have called the
It was
cops.
part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
What do you mean by that?
This is just a piece of junk they sell to tourists. It has no resemblance to the real creature. You're wasting your... I've never seen... I have no... You're wasting... I've never seen... So, you found it. I wonder who else knows about it. Well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. I have no interest in something like... If I cared... Oh, yes, I know him. He occasionally asks me about the history and biology of the swamp creature. I explained to him what the real Boggy looks like and how they changed his appearance for the cartoon character.
Why did he ask about that?
Because some people are naturally curious. You should give it a try sometime. Next time...
Alright. You know what, let's go ahead and...
Someone... The latches... Seems I can fix it. Once they're on the... I can move...
That... Wait, that... There we go.
This is like... there's a whole load... Or should I say... I just don't... I'm in. A little black. It may. Check out that sun. There's a book on the table. How fascinating.
Yep, there we go. I have 100% of the notes.
You just walked straight into my house, did you?
Sorry, I would have rung the bell, but you don't have one.
Normally, I have methods for but I can make exceptions for
Do you get any attention up here?
most of the time, people but I
No. To be honest,
well, if you insist. I'm Lady Weybridge, and I think you might be climbing up the wrong trees.
Huh?
I'm Detective Grimoire, and I think I might agree with you. What do you do here? Did you work for Richard Remington?
I was living here before that man was even born, and I have absolutely nothing to do with him, or his little tourist attraction.
You're exaggerating. How long have you been here? Just in this treehouse? What do you do up here?
I've been here longer than anyone. Even longer than, well, anyone.
I like numbers.
60 years, something like that.
What have you been doing for that time? If you don't mind me asking.
I have many reasons to be here, but I won't bore you with all the details of my life.
I'm sure there's one detail worth writing down.
I like to study the plants and flowers in this area. I've learned many things from them.
What about this little chemistry set you've got on your table?
I wouldn't call it a chemistry set, but if you bring me an object that has liquid on it, or inside it, I'll tell you what that liquid consists of.
Wow, how do you do that?
Chemistry.
Alright, well.
Your job is to ask me about what happened last night.
Do you even know what happened last night?
I know more than you might imagine.
Oh, that sounds useful. Can you tell me? What were you doing?
I was here, in my house, by myself.
Mm-hmm. What else?
That's it.
Thanks. Just give me a minute to write all this down. I found these designs for a boggy costume. Do you know anything about them?
You're asking me because you can tell I'm experienced with needlecraft and sew my own clothes?
No, but that's a good reason. Let's go with that.
Well, these designs look like they should have stayed where they were.
In the trash?
On paper.
Oh, how come?
Whoever drew them didn't really know what they were doing.
You would have done it differently?
Of course. I am a seamstress. There was a time when I considered sewing my craft, my livelihood.
Really?
Oh,
When
that's
Richard
nice.
Remington arrived in the swamp years ago, I offered him some of my handmade fabric as a peace offering.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think he cared much for it. Most likely he threw it away. A pointless gift from some strange woman.
You've been here so long, you must have crossed paths with Remington a few times. What did you think of him?
That man was a threat to the swamp. We'll be better off without him. Hopefully the curtain will fall on his little tourist attraction as well.
Better off? With a killer on the loose now?
There have been murderers loose in the swamp before.
What are you talking about?
In my time here, I've seen the swamp invaded by men. By hunters. Several times. They're relentless.
What were they hunting? Wait, what about Boggy? Is that why no one has seen him in 60 years?
They always fell short of their ultimate goal. That just meant they came back again and again, doing more harm each time.
But this area is protected by law, right?
It is now, but some men have no respect for laws, of any kind. They tried to get me to leave my home. I stood my ground.
Obviously. But this whole area is a tourist attraction now. I doubt Remington would have allowed anyone to march into Boggy's Bog with a gun and start hunting down his main attraction.
You can put... No. If you... There's two of them, and one... You can put...
Let's see. First, then tap...
Yep. And then this is very
now,
repetitive, so just blue, yellow, and green.
Got it! Now I know. I'll write it down.
No, thank you. If you bring... You can... No, thank... If you...
Let's see. First, then tap... And now... Got it! Now I'll... Let's... Then tap...
I don't know why they have this. I guess
And now...
they more intended you to do this over time, but...
Got it! Now I'll write it... this one.
But I never...
I recognize some of those men. Unfortunately. They've hunted in the swamp before.
Before it became a protected area?
Before that, yes. And one of them after that.
This is a 60-year-old journal. It was on display in a museum.
I know what it is.
I thought you might. I'm supposed to look to the past, right? Lady Weybridge was living in the swamp when the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago. Lady Weybridge. She was living here when Boggy was first discovered by the explorer.
You can put that away. No, thank...
Let's see. First thing, then tap the... And now... Got it! Now... Oh, what's that? Let's see. First, then tap... And now... Got it! Now... Oh, what the... It's the exact... There's something about that green slime. The fireplace burglar found at the crime scene and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Sally's leggings. They link her with the crime scene. I'll have to ask her about it.
I'm not... You should... Show it to someone who doesn't. I'm not. You should. A fascinating old woman who lives in a wonderful treehouse. I heard she wasn't so keen on visitors, though. Show it does. I'm not even sure who that... I have nothing good to say about that man, so I won't say anything at all.
I've been looking into the history of this place.
Oh, really? Did you find anything?
Yeah. You.
I mean, this would have been a good game to play if it was like a local rest or something.
You found me today, when you barged into my house. Remember?
You were already already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal? Or what, that I stole it?
I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind.
It doesn't belong in a museum. It belongs here, with me. You understand?
What if I promise I'll return it after I finish clearing up this mess?
Then I'll show it to you.
Is this you? He drew you into his journal? It's beautiful.
60 years ago, yes. He left the page with me. We agreed the rest of the world would manage without it.
I think there's something on the back.
Yep.
What's this? Footprints.
Yep, so now we know what... Okay. Alrighty, so now, let's just start from the beginning and just make our way around, because we have everything.
I'm afraid...
We almost have everything. Shoot. Right, one more thing. No, not path. There we go.
Aha! The great detective returns. Did you run out of ideas? Need a little push in the right direction?
I'm getting a new idea. It involves ignoring you.
Like it or not, I'm here to help you.
I get it. You give me a map, then you magically disappear and hide behind a tree for an hour. You want me to be impressed?
Did you talk to all the suspects yet?
I'm working on it. You can't rush these things, you know.
Have you noticed anything unusual?
I notice that this is going to take longer than I originally planned, and I'm getting the feeling that I wasn't wrong about this tourist attraction.
What do you mean?
I had a hard time believing there could be a place like this here in a dark corner of a swamp. It didn't make sense, and it still doesn't.
Some things don't make sense straight away. You need to look a little closer.
At what?
Why are
The
you
mud,
here?
the water, the trees?
So weird.
Look, they've been here for years, and they're not to blame. They belong here.
She's gone
Are
again.
you like some forest spirit
Hiding
or
in a
something?
bush, no doubt.
I feel like I should not be
wonder if
messing
she'll
with
ever
you.
tell me something I can actually understand.
Alright.
Hey,
So what can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
I didn't have one. I think I spoke to him twice, ever. He usually seemed really busy, but more like preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Like he was thinking about something else? Something that wasn't this tourist attraction?
Who can say? What do old men think about?
You
What?
don't want to know.
What? Are you implying that I know the answer to that? The black leggings you found in your bag this morning, they're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
Everything in this swamp is covered in slime. What's your angle, Grimoire?
Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Costume? Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, you know, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up?
Alright.
Besides, look at them. What do you notice?
They're loose and stretched.
That's right, someone else. Someone larger than me has worn these.
Aha.
They're stretched out, especially at the waist. It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their boggy costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs. Do you want a souvenir?
Oh, my, yes, but only if you choose one for me.
You look like you could use something to wind up. You can take this one.
Alright. Now that now that I have all the clues and the list of suspects, now we can start from the protest.
Ah. Show it to somebody. No thanks. You're asking the wrong person.
Alright, let's see. All of you. All of you.
Oh? What is it? Some evidence? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry I have... Try showing... What? You won't be... If you want... I don't... You won't be... If you want... I don't...
I suppose you've met with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while
Here we
now.
go.
Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that
7.
man. He understood how to make things work for him. You want me to...
Down there.
So, a good example of how Boggy's feet are never shown in any form. They often use that little red bucket to hide them. You're wasting your prey. I've never seen... Is that the missing page of the journal?
I think so.
It's an important artifact. It belongs in a museum.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you're not wearing the right hat to be saying that.
If I cared about that...
Alright. That. I know, I like actually walking. Profiles and then...
If you bring me some... He drew me into his journal. I was 20 years old. That's the end of the story.
I bet it's not. Does this explorer have a name?
Yes?
Are you going to tell me?
No.
Alright.
Hmm.
Alright, well, I have a lot more to show
I
him.
can't help you with... Why don't you... You don't know... I can't... That's Mr. Remington's old hunting rifle.
Here we
He
go.
usually keeps it around. For whatever reason. He was very fond of that thing. Looks like it was fired recently. That's the same fabric from Mr. Remington's curtains. It's Mr. Remington's fireplace poker. This slime on the handle. It's familiar for some reason. One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details, but These men travel the world, seeking mysterious animals to
Really?
hunt. They consider myths and legends to be the ultimate prey. Why don't you? You don't know. I can't. You have a lot of sus. I don't know what. It's here a lot. I think he's been putting less effort into his protests recently, which is a shame. I think it's an admirable cause.
Well,
Do
that's
you
nice.
talk to him much?
Not really. Sometimes he likes to talk, just casual conversation. He asks how business is going and what everyone likes to eat, nothing of real importance.
You said you knew Remington?
He and I knew each other for a long time. I came to work at his tourist attraction in the early days, when he needed help.
Well, what kept you here?
I know most people wouldn't want to work in a place like this. I actually like it here, so I was happy to oblige.
You might like it, but I still don't see why anyone would build a tourist attraction here.
Mr. Remington has his reasons. He probably had several. I don't presume to know what they all were. Even though we were friends, he had some secrets, some hobbies, that I was happy to let him keep secret.
Oh my.
Secrets? Hobbies? A secret hobby?
He was a man with a dream, I can tell you that much.
What?
I always thought it was weird that his feet are in that little bucket all the time.
It's just part of the character, I guess. I'm surprised they don't sell some sort of boggy foot soaker.
And that would be the one product I'd consider buying. Where are you keeping... Is that one of your... I have... Where... Is that one of your... Is that one of your... More Yeah, I have a pretty good view of him from here. Anyone supporting animal rights is okay in my book. His protests used to have a bit more energy, though. He spends more time inside his tent these days.
What's he doing in there?
I'm happy to say, I don't know.
There might be something I can ask Echo about. Echo spends less time holding the protest sign and more time in his tent. I wonder if Echo can tell me what he's been doing that's more important than his protest.
Alright, now that we got everything, all we need to do is go back to the protest one final time.
Oh?
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my job to ask...
Untouched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
So, you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if...
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you...
Look,
Let's work out why Echo was hit. Notebook time.
Alright, so this one is just kind of a goof. You don't have the... There's not a correct answer per se, but to get a hidden achievement, you can use the ghost from the previous game I mentioned, Haunted House or whatever.
You've been hiding in your tent because the swamp is haunted!
why not?
There we go.
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.
Alright, well, before we do that, now that we have everything, to get another achievement called Due Diligence, we have to change to who we think is the bad guy, like from not suspicious to... Okay, so all these information things, we can change from suspicious to not suspicious. So to get to diligence, we have to choose one person and change and keep theirs of suspicious while changing all the others to not suspicious.
Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious.
Oh?
Not suspicious. 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 Not suspicious.
This gets a little obnoxious. So.
Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious.
So, if you go to your suspects, it should look like this in order to get the other achievements. Alright, so now let's go ahead and go to the swamp dock. And talk to Jake.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
Not exactly.
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
I didn't wander.
I don't need to.
Alright. Boggy's criminal record. The final chapter.
Why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Well, not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Boggy from last night?
Not exactly.
Let me see that photo.
Okay, so he wants to see the photo, so we show him the
If
photo.
that's not Boggy, what is it?
Alright, and then after that, we're going to show him
I
the
found designs for the costume in a trash can. Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself. Well, nearly all of them. There's still the one that...
But the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature?
And with that, we'll show him the
What's this?
page.
I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records. The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They were just a product of these slippers. A part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind. How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
That would be the
The
fireplace poker.
prongs match up with the wounds perfectly. The handle's even covered in slime, see?
Ah, but this swamp slime was one of the reasons Boggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think.
It happens to be
This
swamp
stuff is an
juice.
uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me,
What is that
It's a bug
exactly?
dog.
a poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom. He put this green powder on the entire supply, just to make sure.
To make sure of what?
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
Remington went back to his office? Alone?
Final chapter. The
I've been
murder.
looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me. I think we need to work
The
out.
video footage? Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night, at the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you talk me through them? Just rearrange the descriptions on the... drag them...
Yes.
And if you...
No problem. I can always check my...
So thankfully we can go back and actually watch the video again to see how it all lines up. But I'll show you how it goes. So first it would be the culprit opens Remington's door. 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright. Alright, so and then next we have not backward, but as Boggy appears. And then he fire the rifle. Let's see what's next. Grabs the poker and stabs Remington. And then he falls backwards. And then he grabs a curtain to stop his fall. Rips off curtain fabric, as he calls.
I think that's it.
Ah, excellent. There's just two small details bothering me. First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
Turns out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume. Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailant survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items onto my... and we'll see what with the...
Yep.
Wait,
Hello, I am
you
the
never
murderer.
found the body piece, the torso.
Oh, shoot. It's okay. You're not supposed to find it in the game.
You're right.
It's part of the end.
And I never would have found it. Not lying around. Not like the others.
But what does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This
it's
torso
padded?
is probably made up of some thick material. Something covering the culprit's
Padding.
entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
To
soften...
soften the impact from a bullet. Aha!
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test. Where is that last piece of the costume?
That would be...
But how?
Protest area.
We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple. He's still wearing it.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen, not to mention his main attraction.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless you're in on the secret. The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy.
The hunter and the haunted.
A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession. For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore. Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
You didn't have the right.
This one doesn't
You
really
shouldn't
matter
have
how you answer.
your...
Detective,
It's...
it's finished. Well, don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just
Well,
to scare
technically
him.
it does matter in
Convince
court of
him
law.
Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him. You worked out the rest yourself.
It makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us. Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down the...
Hey, wait!
Bye, Boggy. I didn't see you. Just gonna leave you alone. Bye-bye. Just
Aha!
Looks like you solved more than one mystery tonight.
Alrighty, so that was Detective Grimoire. And oh, he also played Mr. Arthur Ego. I did not know that. Yeah, that was a fun game. There's a sequel. I don't know. The second voice acted game.
Grimoire.
Well, what did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And, well, we agree with you. But I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We'd better be.
We don't go after them in the next game. No, the next one is called Tangle Tower, and then there's a new one coming up called Mermaid Maps that I'll hopefully be playing when that comes out. It should be coming out sometime next month, I believe. So yeah, I will see you in the next Detective Grimoire. Although, it's funny, this is the only one titled Detective Grimoire. It's not like Detective Grimoire 2, the Tangle Tower. It's just called Tangle Tower. But, so yeah. I will see you all in the next game, hopefully. I can't remember the next one, it is as dialogue heavy, so I can get some more commentary in. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.